While it feels like everyone else is eagerly putting on their digital costumes every day, these users just sit it out. Now, are they technophobic? Well, the data actually suggests something entirely different. And as we're going to see, the practical benefits of their choice are absolutely massive.
Have you ever noticed the awkward silence that happens when you reveal you aren't on Instagram? It's wild. People give you this look of utter confusion, literally like you just told them you don't own a microwave. In that moment, we instantly validate the social stigma of opting out. But the thing is, these people aren't hermits hiding in the woods. Their absence is a highly considered, very intentional choice.
To really understand why they leave, we have to look at what they're actually leaving behind. Instagram is essentially this exhausting visual self-presentation arena, and it's built to quietly ask you one looping question over and over. How do you look to other people right now? For a lot of folks, especially adults in their 30s and beyond, this constant, demanding evaluation just becomes incredibly tedious.
The real friction here comes down to a psychological trap called upward social comparison. It's this chronic, often unconscious process of measuring yourself against people who are presenting their absolute best versions all day long. So every single post you scroll past becomes a new data point in this ongoing, anxiety-inducing audit of your own life. You're comparing kids, apartments, vacations, appearances. The mental overhead of constantly calibrating your self-worth against a curated highlight reel is incredibly heavy.
And to put that into perspective, the toll of this mental overhead is actually measurable. A 2024 study looked at over 1,000 adults and found that people using Instagram for over 3 hours a day had meaningfully higher self-criticism scores than those using it for under an hour. When people make the choice to opt out, they instantly reduce that social comparison, which leads to an undeniable and remarkably rapid improvement in their personal well-being.
So why does leaving feel so good? Well, it's explained by self-determination theory. This is the idea that we flourish when our behavior is driven by genuine internal values rather than external pressures. When you have a strong, internally consolidated sense of self, your autonomy directly clashes with an environment that's built entirely on external dopamine hits, things like follower counts and story views. Eventually, you just outgrow the need for validation from strangers. Which brings up a great question. Where do these people go online? Interestingly enough, a lot of them head over to YouTube. Instagram demands what we can call broadcasting outward, carefully curating an aesthetic for a quick 8-second glance. YouTube, on the other hand, allows for pulling information inward, which rewards real depth and 30-minute deep dives. Stepping away from broadcasting outward yields a massive practical benefit here, the return of deep focus and autonomous learning.
But wait, why are many of these same people still hanging onto their Facebook accounts? It actually comes down to the architecture of the platform itself. Instagram acts like a performance stage, demanding strict visual coherence. Facebook, though, functions much more like a community bulletin board for real-world updates and groups. Opt-outs are willing to tolerate it because it offers manageable connection without all those exhausting aesthetic demands.
Now, if you're thinking this is all just anecdotal, it's definitely not. Look at the largest experimental study on social media abstention to date. We're talking about 35,000 participants. Partnering with Meta themselves, researchers had this massive group completely deactivate their accounts just to observe the psychological fallout. The results were pretty staggering. Deactivating for just 6 weeks led to powerful, very measurable improvements, increased happiness, along with significant reductions in both anxiety and depression. Simply removing that chronic upward comparison allows your mental well-being to physically rebound. Honestly, the cost-benefit calculation of visual platforms just shatters once you experience that kind of clarity. Now, I won't lie, there is a hurdle to stepping away. People do miss what psychologists call the need for witnessing, having your milestones acknowledged online. But successful opt-outs quickly replace this thin, digital substitute with high-quality, real-world connections. They fulfill that very human need to be seen through substantive conversations and deep friendships that are built on shared interests rather than just aesthetics.
So if you're looking to try this, it requires actively replacing digital validation with meaningful, real-world habits. Here's a proven roadmap to get you started. Step 1, rebalance your dopamine to stop those constant phone cravings. Step 2, clear out your mental backlog. Step 3, fix your sleep schedule by eliminating that late-night scrolling. And Step 4, rebuild your daily focus. Doing these things practically and actively reinforces your autonomy. Ultimately, people who leave the visual comparison arena have made a quiet, confident peace with going deep rather than going wide. They realize their life doesn't have a highlight reel, and more importantly, it doesn't need one.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. If you completely stopped worrying about how your life looks to an audience of scrolling strangers, what incredible focused things could you actually do with your time?